It served its purpose, and that was it. Oh, don't cry, Mr. Arminian. Eh? And Gideon, verse 36, said unto God, If thou wilt save Israel by mine hand, as thou hast said, behold, I will put a fleece of wool in the floor, and if the dew be on the fleece only, and it be dry upon the earth beside, then shall I know that thou wilt save Israel by mine hand, as thou hast said. And this goes on. And he did find in the morning the fleece wet. And it was so, for he rose up early on the morrow and thrust the fleece together, and wringed the dew out of the fleece, a bowl full of water. And Gideon said unto God, Let not thine anger be hot against me, and I will speak but this once. Let me prove, I pray thee, but this once with the fleece. Let it now be dry only upon the fleece, and upon the ground let there be dew. And God did so that night, for it was dry upon the fleece only, and there was dew on all the ground. And you know, you pontified Arminian, he loves to ride forth and condemn Gideon here. I didn't have enough faith. Didn't have enough trust and faith in God. You see, we have. We have, you see. Here's a bit of dust on my collar. Get that off. No, you missed the whole point. He was diffident, and that's godliness. You are condemning a man of God for being godly. No trust in oneself is the best way forward. And we learn that. We don't put it on. A mature person is a mature person that will show forth that they're diffident. They don't trust themselves, they don't trust others, puts no confidence in man, but certainly no confidence in himself. And just in case I am mistaken, would be Gideon's mindset, I will ask God a second time, just to make certain it's just not me, stupid me. I'll put it out, the fleece, and ask for dew around the fleece, because it just could be that dew has fallen through the night, gone into the fleece, dried on the ground, but the fleece has soaked it up. Okay, so he puts the fleece out. When the fleece is dry and round about is wet, then he knows for certain it's not his own stupidity. Then what does he do when he comes to fight the armies of hell? What does he do? Well, he's listening to God. He now knows, has the confidence that what he's hearing is not from his own flesh. God says to him, take the people down to the river and watch them. And of course, common sense equally comes into this, how they drank the water from the river. There were those who bowed their head into the water. They were rejected. The vast majority, the multitude, were rejected because they put their head into the water and lapped it up. The second group to come down to the water what happened? They were the wise ones. They were what we should be. They were careful. They put their hand in the water, whilst they looked ahead, to the side of themselves. Their eyes were shifting to the left and to the right whilst they were drinking the water from their hands. In other words, they were alert to the enemy. They took seriously the enemy. That the enemy could be on the left, could be on the right. They purposely did not blind their eyes by looking straight down. That's a vulnerable position. We should keep our eyes open. Be alert. Not as this lost of this world, who just go straight on, oblivious to everything. The enemy is all around them. The enemy is laughing at them. The enemy is deploying them. The enemy is with them. They're defeated. And they are their own worst enemy. Mr. Arminian, you're out of your depth. The Lord is nigh each and every one of us. You need to get from your position of nominal Christianity, of which you won't listen, because you're hardened, to that of becoming a true Christian. Then, and only then, will you see what is true, and not this perpetual condemning of the children of Israel after the Spirit. We that are the children of Israel. We had one with Paul, didn't we? Should have gone in the temple. Get right with the Lord. And then you will know what it is to be free from the bondage of sin, to have the Spirit of the Lord within you, the children of disobedience no more to be part of. The Spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience shall depart from you. And you'll have the Spirit of the Lord. And then as soon as you have that, you're going to get the enemy coming from the left and to the right and from above and below and every other way, and camp against you and say you need the Spirit of God, and you need this holiness, and you need this, and you need that, and you need the other. And there's one still small voice crying out to your soul that ye are perfect in Christ. Ye are perfect in Christ. Flesh isn't. That's the way these free willers come at us. Oh, you need this, you need that. And it's the same with Gideon. How they condemn Gideon for his fleece. They haven't a clue in the world. We say again, and the scriptures speak to us, that this man was diffident. As diffident as Abraham. Who am I to speak on behalf of my Maker? Let our Maker, speak. Or my companion speak. Let anybody speak. Not me, not me. No, that's Pharaoh. That's Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Who am I? Who am I to go against such a mighty man? Huh? Who is Gideon to go against such a mighty army? That Israel, with its army, knew it couldn't go against, because it was in sin, absolute sin, and so dispirited. So it had gone back on its lease, as it were. It had become comfortable. It had become comfortable in its worldly ways. And its worldly ways gave expression to the building of an altar for Baal. Oh, it had become soft, effeminate, slow, ignorant, stupid, slothful in every sense of the word, hedonistic. You name it, it had corrupted itself, had Israel after the flesh, and it was totally defeated, being spiritually, morally, ethically defeated. The Midianites and the rest ruled. Ruled. When a nation is morally debauched, and ethically debauched, and defunct, and God sends a great nation of nations against them. Moral and ethical bankruptcy is the destruction of nations. Israel was forever morally and ethically bankrupt and going into bondage because of it. And it's only morals, godly morals and ethics. Not social morals and ethics, godly morals and ethics. Social morals and ethics, for those who don't know, is simply this. And they call it compasses nowadays. And tomorrow, what else will they call it? Whatever fashionable word they like to do so. Social morals and social ethics is this. If you feel something is right, go do it. It's the Satanist's way. There is no law but that which you feel is right. And you implement that right. So if I feel it's right to go and do wickedness, it's not wickedness anymore, it's right because I deem it to be right. That's social ethics. What is I feel is right. Equally attached to that is expedience. How do we get out of this situation? Well, we're going to lie. All right, a means to an end. Pragmatism. It's all there. It's all there. It's all there. These are enemies of godly morals and ethics. All there. To come against everything that is morally correct and ethically right. And once we establish our lives upon morals, godly morals and ethics, the spirit of our understanding, we're bent, aren't we? We're born bent. Politicians are completely bent. You can't bend a politician straight. But we're a Christian and even a nominal member of the public. A fairly decent member of the public. Can be straightened in their understanding. From the bent to the straightened. And the only straightened is by morals and ethics. That's the rule. What is morally right and ethically right? Let not Arminians say, well, they will say, there's none good, no, not one. Well, that's right, and they quote the scriptures on that. But what they are actually saying and implying is that unless you become a Christian, you can't be good. I know. They're away with the fairies. You can't be good. So, we have no charities then of mercy. So, person not saved, going along the road, and we'll conclude with this because we're getting carried away with this lot. They're walking down the road. Another person falls in front of them. Do they walk on? A lot of people, sadly today, would. But you've got that good person. Because it's good for a person to go to that person who's fallen down and to help them, aid them, ask them, can I help you? What seems to be the trouble? That's a good person. That's not a wicked person. Spiritually, it's something else. It's like choice. A person has no choice about choosing salvation. But they have a choice to go into the supermarket and look at food and say, oh, well, I'll have that, I'll take that, and make their choice and take it, and go into any retail business or any decision in a boardroom or any decision at home. That's decisions, that's normal decisions because of normal people. But when it comes to the spiritual side, that's an entirely different case. Spiritually, there's none good, no, not one. Not one person. There's none that seeketh after God, no, not one. And if you're not seeking after God, you're wicked. End of story. End of story. You're wicked. And if you pervert the words of God, you're wicked. You've joined with the Midianites, Perizzites and the rest of them. You're wicked. And those are wicked who say that Gideon lacked faith in the Lord. Oh, if he'd had the baptism, oh, can't have that, oh, that's Pentecost, oh, is that right? Hey, where's faith come from? Faith comes from God. This man was pious. He had more piety, more diffident than you could ever imagine. But you Arminians are attacking this man as you attack Paul, as you attack Christ, as you attack us, as you attack everything that is holy, moral, righteous and good in the sight of God. You attack it all because you're on the side of Satan, whom you've enthroned. And let me just say this. Today it is not Romanism. That's the predominant force of evil that's set against us. It's Arminianism. That is our enemy. In the times of the Reformers, the Middle Ages, it was Romanism, straight to our faces. Now, who's taken over? One of the daughters, one of the harlots, Arminianism. That is who is our avowed enemy. And we will not give place to that. Our brothers and sisters of old didn't give place to Romanism. And we were not going to give place to Arminianism. We're not going to shake the hands of Arminianism. We're not going to pat them on the back. We're not going to smile at them. We're going to rebuke them. Arminianism is Romanism under a different cloak. And Romanism is Judaism under a different cloak. Oh, it's all attacking us. And when we say Judaism for Rome, we mean it. Oh, they have declared the Trinity, you're right. Pay lip service. Oh, well, they say that it's Trinity and their Pope is the triune God. You strip it all away. Underneath is monotheism. Monotheism, which is Judaism. Single God. They play mind games with us. That's the world for you. Beware, beware and beware of the world. It plays mind games. It's not what it presents itself to be. And it has this magnetic quality that attracts this old nature to believing in it. Believing in it. Study. That's what we need to do. Study. And what the word is? Study. S-T-U-D-Y. Study. To show thyself approved unto God. Not just in the scriptures. We begin with the scriptures. But in our intellect. Proving to God, yes, that's of the devil and that's of God. As we have here, Gideon and his fleece is of God. Not of the flesh, not of the devil, but of God. God created Gideon to be diffident. Non-trusting of himself, yes. Non-trusting of himself. Who am I? Who am I? Eh? But that's what God is looking for from his people. Who are you? Oh, I'm just saying, who are you? That is what God... Hang on. You're telling us, Mr. Arminian, that is what God is seeking from his people. So you're the spokesman, are you? You're the prophet.